like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell.
Well, I think I just got lucky this weekend. Was out with G-Ma the whole weekend, and nothing happened. And now, first day back to work, it looks like I'm about to get a gully washer or frog strangler. I guess that's how you make up for it. Oh, this don't look good. Traffic's already slowing down. I guess you can only stay lucky for so long. I think I had a good run without rain. Well, the curse continues. I guess I can't call it a curse. This is what I asked for. It's only like 48 degrees. I'd probably still ride like this even if I had a car, because I did it before. That's what I gave my car up for, because I was never using it.
3 days later.
Well, good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Headed to work this morning. It is a brisk 34 degrees. Hadn't been this cold in well, since last year. Riding to work Friday, it was like 40 degrees, and today it's 34. But don't worry, tomorrow it'll be like 45 coming to work, so I don't know whether they just can't make up its mind. I also need to change out my helmets, because this one, the vent doesn't work very well in it, so I keep having to crack the visor, and then my face gets frostbite, so whatever. However, the rest of me, I've got my MSR gloves on. I don't know if these said cool green glow. I've got them on the lowest setting, and my hands are still pretty warm. We're doing between 50 and 60 on the way to work, back and forth, and it's they're actually really comfortable. So I'd say these MSRs are a win. I would recommend, though, if you guys buy these MSRs, get one size larger, because these are a little snug, and snug gloves do have a tendency to make your hands cramp up. Let me get around this guy. Nobody knows how fast they want to go. Alright, now we're making time. Along with the cool gloves, I got my new Indy Ridge boots on. I got the Apaches on. And obviously I've got a thermal layer on with my jeans, and then I got my riding pants over it. My top I've altered a little bit. I do have the turtleneck, courtesy of Kohl's. Sorry, I gotta think and move at the same time. It gets difficult. And then I have regular jeans and my riding pants, courtesy of Cycle Gear. I will have to cycle out helmets. This is getting a little donkeys having to crack the hood every couple of minutes to breathe. Just in case you didn't notice, I've also got it in rain mode, just in case it is a little bit of patchy frost today. I'd hate to hit a slick spot, a little bit of patchy frost on it. You know how these country roads are. Hit a hollow and the temperature drops about 5 degrees, so I don't want to hit a patchy. It hasn't rained since Saturday, but that don't mean there's some patchy ice out somewhere. Some pads of moisture. So we're on our way to work today. It's a Monday, and winter is just about here. I know officially it's still only fall, but when it hits 30s, you might as well call it winter. If that means some places up north can hit winter in September, hey, I didn't write the rules. It's just how it is. Alright, I can get on to work because my nose is freezing. I can talk less, and then maybe my screen won't fog up, and I can leave this thing down a little further. Talk to you guys later. Well, see the lights out. I guess this is why traffic was backed up yesterday. Well, damn it. I don't know this afternoon to go a different way. If you gotta have a comfortable seat, that's the seat you want. This bike almost looks like this bike, except that bike is that bike and this bike is this bike. I think somebody's copying somebody. So this looks like it belongs in an old movie. Little sidecar rig, gasoline powered, but I want to just point something out here. This headlight is actually a lamp, like a lantern, like a gas powered lantern. It used what they call carbide gas, which I'm assuming is something like petroleum, like butane or something, but basically it was just a rough gas. You can actually see inside there, there's still some carbon soot on there, so it looks like it was propane, because that's like the residue that propane leaves behind. But yeah, can you imagine? Put some liquid gas in there, pump it up, and that's how you have a headlight. And if you're riding this at night and you run out of gas, well, you ain't got no light. Stitchy. It's still pretty cool though. So I'll give you the background on this Harley clone. In the 1930s, Harley needed money, so they allowed Japanese companies in the 30s to make these with their blueprints. Eventually, they sold this company, the Rakuo company, to Showa, who actually still makes Harley parts today in Japan. Just gonna throw that out there. Here's another cool little thing. Rakuo means king of the road. So what you're looking at right here is the first road king. You're welcome. So this is an aerial. This is what all the proper Brits were driving when you had to get to church with your wife and she had to stay absolutely dry. I can imagine this being used as a cab also. You could actually fit two people inside there. There's a back seat and the front seat. So you get your dog in there, get your kids in there with your wife, and then it's got a little window on the other side where you can open it up and yell at the driver and tell them how bad a driver they are. I'm just imagining. This is my favorite area of the museum, all of the old military bikes. And there's definitely some you can tell have been repurposed that were not built for the military, but were repurposed to fit a need. Again, necessity is the mother of invention. Here we just have an old Triumph. They decided to paint it green, put some ammo cans on the side. Now it's a military bike. And here we have an old ice cream car. Used to sell ice cream and hot dogs out of this thing. Repurpose it. Now it's a military ice cream and hot dog cart. See how that works? Got some desert runners over there, but I want to look at this one. That looks like it has an MG30 on it. That's an old German machine gun, German sidecar, little desert runner. And wouldn't you know it, it's a BMW. And it's got one of those things on it. So, yeah. Here we got a lot of people that I know that what that is. That's the Kawasaki diesel. That's a horse. But you can see, again, there's an old World War II style with a Tommy gun on it. Blackout lights on the front, ammo can on the side. A Zundap, which I believe also, since it's got a German MG30 on it, I'm assuming that's a German bike. Oh look, it is, it's a BMW. But it says Zundap, so is Zundap also a BMW? A little bit different, I guess. Where's I oppose? It's German, what do you know? And then back to the good old US of A. The bike that won the war. This helped with troop deployments and patrols, getting guys on the beach and into the cities. I've heard a lot of these just got left over there when they left, so Well, some got brought back, but they were more interested, obviously, at the end of the war in getting troops back than getting a lot of equipment. So a lot of equipment was given to our allies over there when we left. So there's a lot of these over in Europe. Like a bunch have been brought back, but a lot of them are still over there. Here's a Indian. I bet you've never seen an Indian with an opposed Veachman on it. Well, you've seen one now. That's different. I have never even seen this one. It's an Indian 841. I'm gonna guess this engine was probably made overseas and then brought over here to be sold. So it's a Chevrolet engine. Neat. Here's a really old Cushman scooter. They didn't even try to hide the engine on these things back then. But again, back then the engine was a focal point. They're kind of getting back into that now. But yeah, it was a focal point of the bike. So show off the engine, all the cool technology. Got some leather fringe on it. I'm not supposed to touch that. I won't touch it. So yeah, very cool stuff here. There's an individual. This is a Nimbus. Not like the Nimbus 3000 in Harry Potter. This one doesn't even have separate cylinders. It's got one giant block that's cast with all 4 cylinders in it. That is pretty freaking neat. So this is an Ariel, a 1950, and if you listen to the song 52 Vincent Black Lightning, this is the motorcycle that angels ride, and you can see why. That thing is, well, it's angelic. Check out this engine. Thing has a lot of style in it. Wiring's not very good. Wiring's a little bit of a hot mess, but that's how they made stuff back then. I mean, it's mechanics were more important than electrical, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, there it is. So what you're looking at here is a Johnson motor wheel. This was a motor wheel you could add to any bicycle and make it into a motorcycle. Johnsons were originally for water pumps, and the technology is right there, you can tell. So that was an old water pump motor, but now it's been reconditioned, named the motor wheel, and sold as a bicycle accessory. And you could put these on pretty much any bicycle, apparently. Ain't that cool? I think it's cool. All right, so we have seen everything in here. Except for that down there, which is closed right now. So
we ain't gonna see that.
There's a Geico bike. I don't know if you can see it very well. But yeah, and we're not gonna get down there. There are some very historic cars here. That is actually a car, if you look over that silver one in the back. That's the Phantom. If you've ever had the purple Phantom Hot Wheels car, that's what it's based on. And it's sitting right there, and I can't get down there and touch it. A lot of other cool stuff here. The only thing I don't see here is the Desert Racer. Probably because nobody's donated one yet. There's even an airplane engine way over there. That's what that is over in the corner.
Videotape it because, you know. Bikes all the way up to the ceiling in the middle, surrounding their big ginormous elevator.
So here's one of the more unique bikes. This is an AJS Porcupine. I want you to see how big this gas tank is. You don't get a good scope of it until you look at it actually pulled off of the bike. How big the tank actually was. So you can see it from back. So you can see it not blinded here. Right, yeah. Yeah, so that's a monstrous gas tank. I'm just gonna guess this is a supercharged bike, so I'm just gonna guess it just drank fuel, and that's why it had such a huge gas tank on it. And it looks pretty cool. I would normally be crazy about these kind of bikes, but somehow being here today, I would rather see all the old historic bikes. Like this one. I like different. It looks like the RC30, which is also one of my favorites, is actually out getting serviced, which is something else they do here. They take the bikes down, they do the services on them. So somebody must be riding them enough. They're getting mileage on them enough to change oil. They got to be doing something with them, right? So that one is an FZR 600. So that one was ridden by David Sadowski in 1990. He is currently an announcer at the Speed Channel covering motorcycle road racing events. Only thing I miss about cable is the Speed Channel, because I miss being able to watch MotoGP. You can watch it now on YouTube, but it's just not the same. There's so much in this museum. Obviously, I can't show it all to you. You're gonna have to come here yourself. I'm just showing you the high points and the cool stuff that, well, stuff I think is cool. You may not, I do. But some of my favorite things from the past, some of the bikes that I wanted, look at this one, and things that I knew I never could afford in the past. And what motorcycle museum would be complete without a Hayabusa? The Valkyrie's nice too. And that was nice. And that was nice. And that was nice. That one's also pretty nice. And that was nice. And that one. So this is a flat track bike, and as you'll notice, GMO's pointed this out on her bike. Her bike was a flat track bike, and there's no shifter on this side. The shifter is actually on the other side. And then they have the hot shoe. So this actually was where you could lean off the left side. That would actually go over your riding shoe to keep you from grinding your riding shoe down to nothing. It's actually a steel shoe. Kind of nifty, huh? Innovation. So we have heard of these. This is actually a pro sidecar rig. They've got the bonnet pulled up on it. We can actually see inside it. But yeah, your driver would go down inside there, and this is all your passenger had to hang on to. They just had to kneel down in here on knee pads and hang on to the rails and hang off the side while they ran this thing around. And yep, shit you not, motorcycle with a sidecar. And there's a different style right there. And here's another one. Back in even the 80s and 90s, these were, it was cool to go watch these. These are different classes, but this was a big thing at the time in Britain, especially in Britain. And they still do a lot of sidecar racing in Britain. You don't see a lot here. They have paved track racing, and then they also have dirt bike sidecar, which is actually much cooler. This thing though, man, it just looks like death. Again and again, you're the rider. You're piloting this thing, you're literally laying around the engine, laying on all the hot parts. I'm not sure what they would do about the carburetors. I guess it just sucks you in, I guess. I don't know. They've got them capped off, obviously, where nothing will get inside the engine, but I don't know, man. That's crazy. Crazy stuff.